After a magical and very fun run, your Boilers are out of the NCAA tournament. But wow, the future looks bright. Let's talk about it. Today's QuickCast is brought to you by Martin Vintage. MartinVintage.com, where if you enter BOILED at checkout, you'll get 20% off. Mom, thanks for watching. I'm not the only one of you out there that got to go down to Louisville to watch Purdue play Tennessee and then Virginia. Thanks to everybody who called me out and said, hey, B. Dowd, really appreciate you guys saying hi to me. It's good. Felt like family being in Louisville with you guys. And I had a great time. You probably saw my son with me if you saw me. A couple of you guys actually said hi to me as we were walking out of the stadium. And I'm positive I looked pretty dejected. It was a tough one for me to swallow, honestly. Not because I'm disappointed in the team or the coaches, but it was so tantalizingly close. With about 2.4 seconds, 2.3 seconds, Virginia had the ball at the other free throw line, and Purdue had a 2-point lead. If you heard Painter's comments after the game, you heard him say, that's what you want. You want the ball far from the basket. And Virginia made plays. That's all you can say. Virginia made plays. They hit all their free throws down the stretch. They made that was an amazingly executed play to send the game into overtime. A couple plays for Purdue, I'm not going to really focus on that, would have won the game. There's no other way around it. And I think that's the hardest thing to swallow. It depends on where you want to focus. You look at the rest of the game, you look at what Carson Edwards did, it was amazing. Carson Edwards kept Purdue in this game, a 42-point career-high tying game, kept Purdue in it, and without Carson's heroics, Purdue wouldn't have been in the position to win late, but they were still there. I think that's the hard thing to think about. So Purdue goes another year without a Final Four. I'm 43 years old. The last time they went, I was 5. That was in Indianapolis. But for the first time in a long time, I think a Final Four is a possibility in the next 4 or 5 years. In fact, I think in 2 years, in 2021, your Boilermakers look like a team that has some parts that could get the job done. A lot of people have been asking our opinions, what we think Carson Edwards is going to do. I think this is kind of an open shut case. I think he's going to go pro, and I think he should go pro. And if I were his counsel, if he asked my opinion, I'd say, Carson, if there's guaranteed money in the NBA, you should go. I don't really think there's any doubt about that. He's a great player. You've seen what the potential of injury can do for other players. Look at the guy on Auburn. I know he's a bigger man, but an ACL blowout, and it would derail some of the things he's worked towards. And as a Purdue fan, we've got to remove all biases and say, the guys can flat out play. He did great things for Purdue, and we should just appreciate what he did for Purdue. What a great season. This team of unlikely, likable guys went to the Elite Eight. They helped Coach Painter get through the ceiling that we thought was there. Well, not we thought. It was there. Coach Painter couldn't get past the round of the Sweet 16 before this year, and he got to the Elite Eight. That's movement forward, and I think as a fan, you have to appreciate the fact that the program took steps forwards this year. And I would also go another step. I would say Coach Painter made big moves forward. He coached the games differently. He coached the games looser. I really appreciate when guys who have been around try to do new things to try to get better, and he did that this year. If you watch the Tennessee game, sure, he was nervous like we all were, but he at one point said, calm down, let this thing ride, and play your game. He knew that Tennessee had a run in them. They made that run, and then Purdue made the plays. So you have 2 coin flip games of Tennessee and Virginia. One game didn't go Purdue's way, and one did. I'm glad I got to be there for the one that did. A little heartbroken about the second one. My son's a 13-year-old. I remember feeling like him in the late 80s when Purdue got knocked out, especially versus Kansas State. That was mid 80s. But in the late 80s, it happened too. In the 90s, it happened. But I relate with him. The biggest thing you have to focus on is this team did overachieve. They came back. They did a lot more than a lot of people thought they were going to do, including me. I've admitted it all in 2019 that I thought this team wasn't an NCAA tournament team in December. And not only were they a tournament team, they went toe-to-toe with two of the best teams in college basketball, 2 straight games. 2 teams that were number 1 in America for 3 weeks each. Purdue was right there with them. Not only competed, but really came close to winning and won. Let's not discount that. And what a great season! What a great season! It's a special season. Going to the Elite Eight for Purdue fans. If you don't understand it's special, you're probably not very old. If you get it, you've been through enough losses in the tournament to say that was special. And the season was special even before the tournament. Big Ten championships are always nice, always special. And the way this team kind of gelled and started doing things that we didn't think were capable of, that was special too. Next year, you've got 4 returning freshmen, so sophomores next year, who played significant roles, especially in the tournament. Hunter, Williams, Stefanovic, and Wheeler. Those guys are going to be very good, and they're already showing signs of being good. But another summer of getting better in Painter's system and within the Purdue basketball culture is nothing but a positive for me from where I stand right now. Then you've got a freshman class coming in, and you've got a couple sophomores. We forget Eastern and Harms are sophomores. These guys are, they're going to be awfully good. This team is going to be awfully good next year. But in 2 years, I think you might have a world beater, especially if they can pull a big-time recruit, a high 4-star. I'm not even trying to say 5-star, but a high 4-star in 2020, and you could have a lot of the ingredients that good teams have. The real question is, what has happened to the culture this year and them getting the Final 8? I think it does a lot for a team to get that taste of the big stage. A lot of guys, it'll motivate them to go back, and they'll remember. There's some muscle memory when the next March comes around. We'll see. We'll find out. But for right now, I just want to say thanks. I want to say thanks to this program. I want to say thanks to the players and the coaches. This was a fun year, and it was great down in Louisville. Purdue fans, you showed up, you showed out, you took over the damn city. That was fun. It was fun to be there. This close to Final Four, though. So, my voice is still not all the way there, still recovering. Hopefully by the time the Handsome Hour is recorded, we're going to record in the next day or 2. Great season, though. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for representing Purdue well down there in Louisville, Boilermakers. God bless you. Hammer down, go Boilers, and see you on Saturday at the spring game. BS all the time.